Hey guys! Today we're going to solo the raid boss Dathea, Ascended. This is one of the solos I've done that require the most clever use of game mechanics, as well as broken items. First stage before Berserk lasts for 12 minutes, and already here we're going to bug out the boss's main ability, Zephyr Slam. It is a stacking debuff that makes you take more damage, and knock you further away each cast. The ability is supposed to have a 100 yards range, but if you stay outside of melee range at all times, she won't even cast it. Her need to use aerial buffet will override it. So by just staying far away, we ignore most boss mechanics. Every 1.5 minutes, she'll spawn a set of 2 ads that will try to channel power onto the boss. This is a DPS check, since we need to kill them fast enough before new ones arrive. Thankfully, we're paladins, with plenty of interrupts available, allowing us to stop them from making the boss all too strong. This is pretty much on repeat the first 11 minutes of the fight. I had 395 eye level and a strong talent build to carry my damage between ad spawns. The reason my eye level is so low is because I use an old school trinket, the punch card from Mechagon, that reduces pushback effects by 30%. And you might wonder why. The boss Berserk mechanic after 12 minutes is a spell called Final Gale, that creates one of the strongest pushback effects in the game. Before patch 10.1 I tried to use the punch card, as well as a speed set to outrun it, but that didn't work. I kept theory crafting for anything that could be used to block the pushback, but I couldn't find anything that would work both in combat and inside raids. I even had a dream of the Primordial Stones from Forbidden Reach, making you immune to knockbacks. Of course, waking up and reading through the list, I realized that reality is often disappointing. One thing I did learn from testing is that being knocked onto a platform will make you avoid the Final Gale pushback, with the boss not resetting. Great, but it wouldn't do anything for us at this time, since we can't do any damage to her from this range, at least not as paladins. It all looked like a lost cause, until this patch, which gave us the best item ever, the Conch Whistle, making you summon the Pink Snail slick in the city. This works both inside raids and in combat. And best of all, the snail will avoid any pushback effect. Just as I thought I had it all figured out, I noticed that summoning the snail will make the boss reset. At least most of the time. I spent some time tinkering with the deepest boss behavior, and realized that keeping one member in the raid group that is inside the raid itself, even while going offline, will make the boss stay in combat and not reset. Now, the boss actually looks doable, but we still had issues to overcome. The last ad wave comes 11:30, 30 seconds before Berserk, and while mounted on our dear snail, we won't be able to heal ourselves. Even worse is that the raging tempest around the encounter area will interrupt you summoning Slick, so we need a bubble or spell warding to guarantee our safety. The way I solved the issue with ads was to take use of one of them to knock me to the side platform, while letting the other ones channel near the edges. This would allow me to reach them with my spells, and since they're channeling, they won't evade. This will make the boss Final Gale damage stronger, so I had to survive and kill them ASAP. Sadly, the whirlwind will never despawn. I wait at the edge of the platform in hope of them having a timer, because if they don't despawn, I can't guarantee that I will be able to mount Slick. And that means I will need to use an immunity every time I would like to mount or dismount the snail, for healing as well as damaging the boss. And the boss Final Gale damage on the platform would obviously be more than I could survive. I thought, whatever, let's see how long I would last. Okay, that didn't happen. Something really hilarious is that me using Damage Shield removed the damage component of Final Gale. It seems like the pushback and damage are two different spells baked into one. This means I can actually survive between my Damage Shield cooldown. But waiting that long to deal damage is horrible. It will make the solo take 5 hours or more, making me unable to perform my daily stream.
To go to Northrend.
But that's when I notice it. Slicky is a real fighter. My Pink Snail mount will actually help me beat the boss, with the massive 5 to 7k auto hits. So the plan now was to barely survive between my damage shield cooldown, let my Pink Snail do huge damage, then dismount him, heal myself, and deal some damage to the boss before remounting him. I would have to do this over and over for 2 hours. I also had to repair my gear at one point, otherwise my pieces would turn red. While I could AFK for 2 minutes while waiting for immunities, it was still really stressful. If I let my focus slip, by not topping my health bar, or being greedy and not remounting Slicky before my damage shield fell off, I could easily screw up. Figuring out this whole strat was actually hilarious, and it truly shows how loyal some pets and items are, until they get nerfed. The full video will be in the description, and the talent build will be at the end. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for more.